Taurus, your April energies are here. Let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Shalom all, Stacey the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to your Transformational Tarot for the month of April for Taurus. Taurus, this is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, as well as anyone who has a Taurus in their life that they love. What a great way to stay up on and support those people in your life that you love. So today we are going to be pulling an overarching theme from the Moon Magic Oracle card deck or affirmation deck from Stacey DeMarco. And then the Wheel of Fortune Tarot spoke to me for you guys. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so let's pick an overarching theme. And while we're shuffling that up, feel free to check out my join button. After 11, almost 12 years, YouTube is finally accepting that I have something to offer my subscribers, and you can check out how you can become a fabulous phoenix with me. Okay, so life is conspiring for me. Oh, what a great message. Okay, so definitely feeling that April is a month where you are going to be running into some challenges, where you're going to need to remind yourself these things are happening because they are going to help me to get to where it is that I need to be, not because the world is against me. You know, no one loves me, everybody hates me, I'm going to the garden to eat worms. That's not what this is about. Now, I don't want to give you the impression that, April is going to suck and it's going to be, nothing but challenges. I don't feel that, but I do feel there are going to be one or two pretty significant challenges, and perhaps a day in there where you're like, everything is going wrong today. What is up with that? And I feel like you want to come back to this video where you're like, no, life is conspiring for me. So, how can I see this as the glass half full or full and overflowing? How can I see this situation from a perspective of understanding that it's actually trying to help me? It's holding me back from getting to this particular place because maybe I'm supposed to be meeting somebody else, or maybe, I'm missing an accident on the road, or, maybe somebody else is going to need me. And I'm going to be, upset that I will have missed the opportunity to be able to be of service because I'll be doing something else. So trust that life is conspiring for you. Love that. Okay. Where are you presently in your transformation? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? This is the one that's standing out to me. Temperance. So you've been seeking a lot of balance, Taurus, and I feel like, well, what I'm kind of, general reading, take what works for you, leave the rest behind. But what I'm feeling is you've been seeking the balance, but you've been feeling almost like the universe is like purposely not giving it to you. Every time you think you've got, something on the right track, something else goes wrong. And I feel like the Temperance card is coming through to say, have a little grace with yourself, have a little patience with yourself. Whether it's a subconscious thing or a conscious thing, I feel like you're processing a lot of different things and stuff. And I feel like the things and stuff that you're processing don't necessarily automatically make sense or are synchronistic with one another. It's like dealing with, a loss of a death of something or the loss of something at the same time as you're dealing with having to, make a bunch of, pound cake and cupcakes or whatever for a fundraiser that you're doing. And the partner that you signed up to do this with has basically called in sick. And so now you have to deal with it all on your own. I mean, you might look at one and say, well, it's, it doesn't compare to the other. But at the same time, when you're having to deal with it all in the same moment, it can be very overwhelming. And I feel like you're just really kind of being hard on yourself. So the Temperance card is coming through to say, have some grace with yourself, have some patience with yourself. There's a lot that is happening right now in your world. There's a lot that is shifting. And as a result of that shift, you don't always feel like you're standing on solid ground. And quite honestly, that's because you aren't standing on solid ground. When we can really accept that, when we can see it for what it is, and we can say, oh, okay, yeah, the reason why I feel the ground is shaking is because the ground is shaking. So knowing that and understanding that, I play a part in that, but it's not necessarily happening because of me, then I don't have to take it so personally. And then I can step back a little bit and say, okay, what do I need in this moment to help me weather this storm, right? Life is conspiring for me. How is this helping me at this time? That's the focus. Looking for the how is this helping me? That's going to be really big, really significant for you. Sorry, I'm trying to get this to be straight and level. All right, the catalyst. What is fueling or hindering your transformation? And is this resistance or rocket fuel? Interesting. Page of Wands. This is you really craving something new, something different. You're wanting to take a new journey. You're wanting to, be completely truthful and honest in a way that maybe you haven't before. You're wanting to tell someone how you feel about them. You're wanting to express all sorts of things that maybe normally you would keep to yourself, or you would express it only in a particular environment. And you're recognizing, in this particular moment, wow, this is unusual for me. I'm trying to do this in a completely different way, in an unrehearsed way. I do feel that this can be rocket fuel for you, but there needs to be a little bit of structure around it. This isn't about throwing caution to the wind. This isn't about streaking, down the road just because you feel like it without any thought to the consequences, of it. And I feel like there's a tendency here for you to be a little more impulsive, but what is needed is the acknowledgement that you're looking for that new journey, the acknowledgement that your soul is singing to you and wants to be free. And it's for you to say, okay, I don't need to do it right in this second right now. What I can do in this second right now is to tune into that and say, okay, soul, what is the best way for us to allow you to express yourself? What is the most constructive or conducive way? So it's usually the Page of Swords, or I should say, actually, it's the Knight of Swords that tends to be more impulsive. But I'm feeling that with the Page of Wands, and part of that is I feel because you're feeling like fire, like the urgency of it. I can't take this anymore. Like I need something different, or I just want to shake it up. And so I just caution you. What you're feeling and what you're wanting is spot on. You just don't want to be in the impulsive space. You want to give yourself a minute or two to just kind of think about what would be the best way to go about doing that. What's the best way to honor that, so that I'm not sabotaging my life or saying things that I'll later regret. That's kind of the energy of what I'm getting. Deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? Here we have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, you've been holding yourself back. You've been in limitation for a while. You've been feeling restricted. And God, Taurus, can I ever relate to you? I am not a Taurus, but man, oh man, can I relate to this in such powerful ways. Just feeling sick and tired of hearing the word no, not right now, have patience. Your thing is coming just around the corner. Like it's almost here. Like just wait. I'm so sick to death of hearing that. But at the same time, I've also been the person that's like, screw that. And I bulldoze through and then I get smacked in the head, right? And I'm knocked back, 40 paces. And so that's not necessarily what you want to be doing here. The deep belief, wound, or soul contract that is driving you, I feel, is this idea that you are limited or you no longer have the freedoms that you had. And what I keep hearing is you're transforming into a new version of yourself where you're not going to need those things in the same way that you've needed them or enjoyed them in the past. This is about creating something new. So don't hang on to what you know and what you can trust as much as letting all of that go, understanding that it's going to be reconformed and reconfigured to suit this new version of you that is opening up. And that's where that temperance comes into play too. Not only is it balance and tolerance and harmony with temperance, acceptance and all that fun stuff, but it's also alchemy. And I feel like that's what you're really stepping into here. All right, what is dying away? What role, pattern, or identity has run its course? The Magician. Interesting. So we were just talking about alchemy, and here we have alchemy. So I feel like you're letting go of the very intentional, intensive, I'm going to do it this way, I'm going to alchemize this way, I'm going to use the recipes that I've gathered over the years to do this thing, to create this thing. You're switching this out more for the temperance part of the alchemy. It's a gentler approach to it. It's the angel's way of alchemizing rather than the human's way of alchemizing. And not to say that one is better than the other. It's just to say that in the energies of where you're at right now with your own transformational energy, this is going to be more preferred. A gentler approach, leaning into trusting the universe, trusting life. Life is giving me, life is bringing me the resources that I need. I don't have to gather them all. I don't have to pull out my recipe book and, do all the things that I've been doing in the past. This is now about experimenting a little bit of this, a little dash of that, and sometimes you got to tweak the process in order to get the formula just right. But that's what you're working on, and that's what you're working towards. Interesting. Okay. Highest potential. This is your Phoenix potential. What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you towards? This is your breakthrough energy. Queen of Cups. So this is kind of interesting, Taurus, because I'm feeling very strongly that you're trying to be this, like you're trying to embrace and embody. I always say this is the lady of love and compassion, right? Like the healer, come on in and cry on my shoulder. And, I've got some, sweets for you or cookies for you. And I've got, 50 million tissues. And I've always got a comforting word, to share with you that helps you to feel a little bit better about yourself and your choices. You're trying to be this, but I feel like actually the Queen of Cups energy is what you need, not what you need to be. It's what you need from others, so to speak. So when we talk about that highest Phoenix potential or possibility, it's releasing this idea that you've got to be in service all the time to others, or you've got to hold others' stuff all the time. And instead, this is about recognizing, yeah, I can be that. And I also can be the person who needs that level of support. And that's the feeling that I get this month in April, is you're going to be seeking out places where others are going to be supporting you in this capacity, not expecting you to support them in those ways. It's a delicate balance, and some of you may struggle with it at first, but I really do feel like you're not losing anything. It's not that, by you saying for this month, I'm just not going to be in service, that you're going to lose everything about yourself as a result of that. And you're going to turn into a selfish person or whatever the case may be. No, think of it like a vacation. It's like, I'm just taking a break from this, but I also, in my process, need to know what it's like to receive that as well. And I might need to receive that. I've got things going on in my world that this would be really beneficial if I had someone who was able to be this for me. It's going to help you improve your skills as a Queen of Cups energy when you're tapping into those characteristics. But it's also going to help you to understand that you don't always have to be all things to all people. It's okay for you to step back and to receive when you need it. That feels really important. What's emerging just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support the next phase? Interesting, the Strength card. So honestly, Taurus, I feel like you're doing a lot of ego work. When we talk about the emergence, it's the ego work. It's the bringing the ego into more alignment, right? That temperance energy, tweaking a little bit of this and a little bit of that to find just the right balance. Ego has been frustrated by being withheld or held back, right? The limitation. And ego just wants to go and let it all go and, throw caution to the wind and not care. but that's not actually what you really want or need. Again, it's not about blowing your life up. It's not about self-sabotage. And it's not about saying things that you don't really mean that you can't take back. It's more about understanding my ego needs to come into a different type of understanding of the journey that we are on together, because my ego is a part of me. My ego needs integration. And I feel like that's what's emerging around the corner, is an understanding of that integrative process and feeling comfortable and confident with leaning into that process itself. Feeling as though that process makes sense to you. You don't know it yet because you haven't come across it. There's been a part of you that's kind of resisted that a little bit. You've been hanging on, to the past way of things because you're unsure about what is to come. But I feel like the Strength card is coming through to say, we're going to show you what's to come, but we're going to show you in a different way. We're going to show you through the process of it's like kinesthetic learning. It's through the process of doing it. Being in the motion, in the mode of doing it is how you're going to learn, tactile learning. Does a tactile learner know exactly how it's going to play out through the journey of it? No. But because they're involved in it and they're present with it, there's less fear involved in the process. And that's what I feel this is really all about ultimately, is stepping out of the fear, or stopping the fear from stopping you to get to where it is that you want to be. It's just kind of a different approach. Your role, you in this process, how are you navigating this transformation? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? Interesting, another page, and I mentioned the Page of Swords. So it's creating a plan for that inspired thought. It's taking the inspired thought and saying, what can I do with this? Let me play around with it a little bit. Let me think about it and think about a number of different ways that this could go. It's not about getting lost in your head or overthinking. It's more about using the imagination space to really formulate what it is that you actually want to manifest. The imagination space in our mind is the only space where we don't actually manifest out of. We create different scenarios and we're able to kind of tweak the process. It's like a sketchboard, right? Or a sketch pad. You're able to sketch some ideas out without actually putting it on the canvas. You sketch some things out first, and then the idea really starts to formulate. And then you're like, oh yes, now I want to do this, and I want to put this here, and I want to use this color, and I want to have this figure, on the right side of the thing, and I want this figure on the left side of the canvas and all the rest of it, right? So it's your opportunity to get a rough idea of what you're looking for before you add all the details, all the bells and whistles, and then add the emotion to it, the feeling, the excitement to it, to manifest it. And that's what I feel this is all about. That's what this is speaking to. Interesting. Okay, circles of support. And I didn't tell you with this one, are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? I feel like this has the potential for you to boldly rise. You've got to allow it to flow through you before you can sort of boldly rise. But I do feel that that's its energy. It wants to support you in that. Circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation right now? And is it positive or negative? Eight of Pentacles. Yeah. So work, your focus on work, or whatever you're putting your focus to, is giving you a sense of balance. It's giving you a sense of momentum. It's giving you a purpose. The thing is, I feel like this is it's important to not get lost in this, because this is temporary. What you're putting your efforts to, what you're working on, it's temporary. It's there. Maybe it'll contribute to the foundation. Maybe it's there just to give you something to focus on until the thing that you really want to focus on comes into existence, right? Then when you've kind of put that into motion, now you don't have to focus on this thing so much, because you've got a shift in your direction. So I feel that this is positively influencing you right now, but the message or the warning that I'm getting is to not get overly committed to the work that you're doing, because the focus is temporary. The focus is serving a purpose, but it's not the purpose you think. It's serving to bring a little bit of balance into your life and into your space. That's really interesting. And not to say that what you're doing doesn't matter. I don't mean that. Like, it is serving a purpose. It's just for you, it's not serving the purpose that you really think it's serving. And so don't be surprised if that shifts up by the end of this month. Hopes and fears. Who are you dreaming of becoming, and what scares you about actually doing it? Interesting. 3 of Wands. Again, this is you wanting to spread your wings and fly, wanting to expand, to stretch outside the box, to do some things that perhaps you've never done before. Yes, of course, you want it to go perfectly. You want it to go exactly according to plan. You want it to be as smooth as it can possibly be. I mean, that's completely normal. I think we all go through that particular process. The thing here is, I feel like you've got to let go of this idea that it needs to be perfect, right? The Eight of Pentacles also can be a card of perfection, seeking perfection. Like I said to you, you're going to be releasing this because it's not you're not doing it actually for the purpose that you think you are. The purpose is going to shift. So this isn't about seeking perfection. This is about saying, as part of my expansion, it is a new journey. I am going to boldly lean into that journey without necessarily knowing the next steps, 10 steps ahead of me. Instead, I'm going to be the person that can accommodate either or, that can accommodate both and, because all I need to do is tap into my intuition at any given moment, and I will know what it is I need to manifest, or I will draw to me the person or the resource that I need for the next step. I don't need to worry. I'm safe, I'm protected, and it's okay for me to spread my wings and fly. I've got this. I've got this. Interesting. Outcome. If you stay on course, who will you be on the other side of this journey in April? What is the result of embracing the full death and rebirth cycle? Wow. 7 of Cups. Aries got the 7 of Cups as well. That's really interesting. So I feel like for you guys, it's breaking out of this limitation and reminding you again that you do have option. Some of these options may not be your favorite options, and some of these options may be, I don't know what this is going to bring to me, but the options are there. This is helping you to break outside the box, to spread your wings and fly. It's also giving you the opportunity, this is the imagination card, and I was just talking about that imagination space for you. That outcome is giving you basically permission to explore a number of different options before you actually put it into practice, so that you can, and that's where the perfection comes in. It's not perfecting the process or perfecting the journey. It's perfecting what you're manifesting. So once you put that out there, then you can just be open to receiving, and you don't have to do a ton of work towards being able to receive it. You're more in the space of, okay, I already manifested it. I know it's coming to me. I just need to be open to it. And in the meantime, I'm going to manifest some new stuff, or I'm going to, move ahead with some of the things that are bringing me joy in this now. I feel like this card is just giving you permission to be. It has nothing to do with what this card actually traditionally means, but that's the message that I'm getting for you. So that is going to be perfect. You can be while being in motion, while being in action, while doing. It's a state of mind. And I feel like that is what is kind of shifting for you, is it's a state of mind. Interesting. Okay, Taurus. So that is your transformational tarot for the month of April. As always, if you need some help or support or guidance with this journey that you're going through, click the link below, book a session with me. I'm more than happy to help you out in any way that I can. Otherwise, like, subscribe, share this video with anyone that you feel could benefit from this type of guidance. Click the join button. Check out if any of those levels are of interest to you, so that we can keep the conversation going. Until I see you for another episode of Black Feather Couture, Divining a VIP Life, sending you lots of love, lots of support. We'll see you on the flip side, and transform well.